never have imagined that such a situation would happen to her, one that would turn her life upside down so much. Previously, her life had been peaceful, married, and her daughter had recently given birth to a grandchild. Suddenly her period did not come. Well, it is not surprising, she was 50 years old. The usual thing. But she decided all the same for an insurance visit to the gynecologist, where she learned that she was pregnant, and already at quite an impressive term. It was still possible to have an abortion, and everyone would understand without condemnation. After all, leaving a pregnancy in such a situation is a risky decision for both mom and baby. And somehow there should be enough time to take him out into the adult world. However, Lita remembered that she and her husband had once dreamed of having a second child, but it had never worked out. Now she just couldn't afford to get rid of him when she had waited so one day. And then she decided to keep the baby if the doctors said nothing against it. There were no objections from the doctors, but there were from her husband. He began to grumble and get angry, that he didn't need to sleep nights and fuss with diapers at his age. That just now it was possible to relax, live peacefully and babysit grandchildren. That his child is no longer given to grandparents. And that he would be ashamed in front of people. You only think of yourself. Think about him, he will be laughed at. What kind of mother are you? This attitude continued day after day, and it almost came to a divorce. Babysitting her little grandson was an outlet for Lita, even though she found it hard to spend time with him when she was in her condition. And yet another thing that saved that there was an opportunity to express all the heartaches of a new neighbor, Anya. Even then it was not her husband but Anya who took Lydia to the maternity hospital. In fact, the situation is common, but rare. Medicine knows that the chances of getting pregnant are lower after 40, and even harder after 50. Questions about childbirth logically arise in the mind. According to medical data, the risks of having an unhealthy baby are already increased at this age. Also, parents should have enough time for him to grow up. And there should also be enough energy and finances. So is age itself scary? There are grandmothers who raise their grandchildren instead of their parents. And with young parents, no one can guarantee that everything will always be fine with their health. And if something does happen to them, where should the children go? To grandmothers as well. Is Lydia the selfish one? Or maybe it is her husband who is selfish, not caring at all about his wife's health, but only about his own comfort under middle age. And the sadness of the story is that it is real and that, after the birth of the child, all family members stopped communicating with Lydia. And no one visited the child either. This kind of story was even covered in one movie called New Life. In addition to this storyline, other people's stories were told in the film, and these stories intersected in one way or another with age. For this reason, many will be able to recognize themselves in some of the characters in the film. It's a hot topic. Does age matter that much? Is it so important when it comes to deciding some important life question? It is helpful to ask yourself questions of sorts. If I didn't know how old I am now, how old would I give myself? The movie also told the story of the main character, whose name was Anna. She was abandoned by her lover, as she was already at an age when, in his opinion, no longer give birth to healthy children. And she was only 35 years old. Such a wickedly ironic situation. Although the point of the story is not even that, but that the main character, the same Anna, has lost her memory. Instead of truthful information, she was told that her age was not 35, but 25. This was done to show that age doesn't matter, and it's all fiction. And the film was able to show and prove that. But still, it is worth watching this film for yourself, to see everything with your own eyes and understand. Lydia's story ended well in the end. Lydia was able to give birth to a healthy, sweet daughter on her own. Even her husband later still felt for them when he heard the news. The role of Lydia was played by the famous actress Yana Poplavskaya. This role was quite high profile. The actress once posted a photo with a tummy on Instagram, signing that she was expecting a girl. For such an act, a shaft of negative opinions flew on the actress. She was judged, insulted a lot, attributed to her age-related dementia, prophesied the birth of who knows who. The joy of the situation for the actress was that the belly was only for the role, but, nevertheless, such a clear wave of negativity could not pass without trace. The actress was upset, despite the fact that she herself has previously said that she does not support women giving birth after 50 years. The question still remains, pregnancy after 50, to give birth or not.